Hello, Charles Smith here. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out where to. Yeah, close enough. So, like the title says, why the discrepancy in the way the inherent responsibilities of the First and the Second Amendments are carried out? Well, the short answer: agenda. I mean, that's it in a nutshell. Uh, the powers that be do not believe in us being armed. Period. They don't. See, they can't have free rule that way. But I'm going to tell you now, without the Second Amendment, we'd be Australia right now, where they will literally send people after you to pull your child out of your arms if you're not vaxxed. Okay. You try that shit here, things are going to go bad, really fast. Um, Welcome to tyranny. Uh, Let me jump on this train for just a minute, then I'll get off of it. Uh, Call the CDC, challenge me, okay? And they will tell you the vax does not prevent you from getting COVID 19. Period. End. No question about it. They will also tell you that the death numbers have a 98% comorbidity rate. Now, this is, to the best of my knowledge, the only time that a comorbidity rate has ever in the history of the United States been used to inflate the numbers of deaths. Could be wrong about that. Pretty sure I'm not. Uh, Back to the rest of the story. So it's all about agenda, right? Think about this for a minute and see if you can follow the logic because I couldn't if I had to. If you put a gun to my head and told me I had to follow the logic on this and make sense out of it, I'd just be screwed because nope. In every other instance, say a drunk driver. Drunk driver kills family of four walking down the road. Do they blame the car? I've never heard of it, although I guess that could be an upcoming thing with the new smart cars, driving themselves. But until that's reality, no, they blame the person. Uh, the vast majority of the gun deaths in this country are suicides or accidental gun deaths. They also forget to put that middle number out there for you. Um, on the flip side of that, you have medical malpractice that is responsible for several hundred thousand deaths a year. You've got abortions, which are probably responsible for more deaths than anything in this country outside of old age. Um, I'm curious about that. If anybody knows what those numbers are exactly, I'm going to guess that old age is probably the leading cause of death, but I would probably say that abortion is probably number two, and just isn't that sad. I mean, it ought to be sad as hell to me. Um, but the difference is the agenda. The agenda is, first of all, the government does not want us to be able to resist. Okay, and let me state up front, the last thing I want to do is have an armed confrontation with members of the government of this country because I've been in the military, and I'm going to tell you that that is the absolute last fucking thing that you want. It is a bad day if it comes to that. Um, Now, do I think that we'd be outnumbered? No, not really. I think probably on the high side of 70% would of military would join uh, you and me. I really do. I believe that in my heart and soul. Uh, However, I do worry about the politicization of the drafting process. Well, not drafting process, the recruitment process right now. I'm very worried about, as Donald Trump put it so eloquently, President Donald Trump put it so eloquently, effing idiots like Millie, um, which I thought was fantastic. The man's entire life summed up in two words. Um, but let's get off that for a minute. let's jump over to freedom of the press. Yeah, and that is literally one of only, I think, three organizations that are actually protected in the Bill of Rights. You got freedom of religion, freedom of the press, and the militia. And I guess that you could count the people as a protected group, although we are not really an organization, so that's why I make the distinguishment there. Um, but here's the deal, right? The press, even though it tended to lean one way or the other, at least had uh, some integrity in the past. And if you watch Project Veritas like I do, God bless you, James O'Keefe, man, you rock. Um, then you would be amazed at how uh, I would call integrity of the press extinct, and I would not call the propaganda machine that we have as mainstream media today the press that was meant to be protected by the First Amendment. When you have a clearly when you clearly have an agenda behind the press, you're dangerous, and you are much more dangerous than some lone idiot running around with a gun doing stupid crap. Yeah, you might take out one or two people in my neighborhood. I promise you, it's down to one, and either we'll take care of you or the police will. Um, and while that person is going to affect a circle of people, and it could be anywhere from tens to hundreds, maybe 1,000 or so, but an out of control media has the ability to influence tens, if not hundreds of millions of people. I mean, hell, if you want to go worldwide with it, I'm sure that they could influence billions of people instantaneously, and that's something that's got to have a leash put on it. And I'm not talking about going, full Gestapo, but the enforcement of the inherent responsibilities that come along with those freedoms protected in the Constitution and Bill of Rights have got to be enforced equally. And when you have a media that clearly has an agenda, whether it be unseating President Trump, which it clearly was, you had a CNN report, just absolutely bubbling with glee. Oh yeah, we got him the hell out of there. Blah, 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 blah. You know, what a miserable ass person you are. You flagrantly you abused the rights given to you. Whoops, sorry about that. Uh, every bit as bad, if not worse, than somebody running down the street with a gun firing random shots. Unquestionably, you did that. So, where are the police on this? And what I would ask you to do is do a little research. Uh, the words and the intent of the Constitution and Bill of Rights are really clear. I spoke with a friend of mine, and we debated this for quite a while. But we figured out that at the end of the day, the Constitution and Bill of Rights were written in somewhere between like third and fifth grade language. That was the average education level of the citizen of that time. And if you didn't have that education level, then you most certainly knew somebody who did. So it's not like there's any question about what any of this means. It's not. And I think that there needs to be a distinction from press versus media. And I want to say that media is more full of BS and hyperbole and an agenda than an actual press is. A press basically reports news, lets you make your own decision about it. And while today's media slash propaganda machine tends to tell you what they want you to think, and they prey on the. I'm trying to be nice about this, but I'm not going to bother. They prey on the intentionally ignorant. There is no excuse to not know anything that you want to know. I mean, if you don't have access to the internet, you got to be living in Zimbabwe or under a rock in the Amazon rainforest, something like that. I mean, go to your library, go to a school. You can have access to the internet. Um, I mean, hell, they've got watches that you can, get the internet on. My cell phone, get the internet on that. Um, I literally can't think of a way that you cannot have access to the internet. And to not understand what's going on, in my opinion, means that you don't care. You just don't care. You see somebody pushing your agenda and you say, yes. You don't stop to think about if they should be pushing that agenda or if your agenda has merit. But man, we live in dangerous times, man. We just live in much, much dangerous time. I mean, I can assure you that, sorry about that, that the founders had no intention of freedom of the press, meaning that you run a 3.5 year smear campaign on a sitting president with no proof behind anything of what you say, and then to turn around and um, not not apologize, but recant those statements and apologize to that president. I mean, they have been demonstrably dishonest in their application of the protected rights, and it's just love or hate President Trump, and I think that he's that kind of guy. Either love him or hate him. I don't know anybody who really sits on the fence with him. Um, but what if they did that to your candidate? What if they went out there to your candidate and just absolutely mopped the floor with him for 3.5, 4 years, and then, oh, wait, they're proven wrong. Nah, oh well, who cares? Pretty sure they never retracted a single sentence. If I was President Trump, I would be owning every bit as much of them as Kyle Rittenhouse right now, if not a little more. And my God, I really, really want the settlement numbers that Kyle Rittenhouse got. I really do, because that young man is now rich, unquestionably wealthy. And I hope he takes a controlling stock in those companies and changes the way they do things. That would be nice. That would be a prudent application of his newfound wealth. Uh, he's probably got the ability right now between him and Dick Sandman to change the way things are done in those companies. I'd like to see that done. Who knows, man? I mean, I think there's always hope, but I think that hope comes with self education and a little bit of introspection, looking at the way you look at things. Be careful. Be careful out there. It's a mess, and I don't see it getting better. Um, I see that we're predicting a red sweep in both houses of Congress. I think that that's a good thing. Uh, but man, we have got to get rid of the rhinos because there are way too many of them. I can name, I don't think I can name 20 members of Congress. That's all of Congress, Senate and the House, that have any idea what the hell the Constitution means. I don't think I can. I really don't. I think that they are so far lost on what the Constitution actually does, and that they've had so much ceded to them, so much authority ceded to them from uh, cook governors that I mean it's pathetic. It's absolutely, and the governors are the same way. You probably can't name. I would say maybe six governors that actually, and maybe not that many. Maybe three governors that actually uphold the Constitution. And the funny thing is, the sad thing is really, is that the constituents, the citizens of the states, of the other ones who claim to be red or conservative, are thrilled with the fact that those governors are only desecrating the Constitution to a limited level. I mean, folks, you have got to set your bar much higher. You really do. Um, they work for us, and between the mainstream media and the extremely poor educations that they're receiving in the schools, most people don't know that. And it's going to come back and bite them in the ass. Mark my words on that, my friends. Anyway, um, sorry to go out on a sour note there, but sorry. Anyway, I wish all of you the best. Love all of you, and have a good one.